Well, howdy, Nearly Senior Citizen here. Greetings, boys and girls, and welcome to this, a brand new day. I am feeling much better. I am largely healed up from my cold. Nowhere near perfect. I'm still draining quite a bit from my sinuses, so I've still got a cough. But it's an upper cough, and it's just to clear what drains. As soon as that clears, my lungs are fine. But I'm feeling much better. I'm sleeping much better. I'm not sneezing. I still have to blow my nose a lot, but thumbs up for that. Illness sucks, but it's just a blip in time. Depending, of course, on your illness. I mean, there's the Covfefe bug, and that ain't no joke. But on to the Shelton, Washington weather, plague, rat, and spider report. Weather report, when I went out walkies yesterday, because I did go out walkies, I mean, it rained most of the day, part of the day anyway, and then by the time I went out, it was dry, and it was just a nice walk, and it was good. I went out about 7-ish, 6, 7, 8. No, I got back around 8, so I left before that, and I just walked around town. I didn't go to Walmart, because I need to exercise, but I don't want to really push too hard, because, hey, not perfectly healthy yet. So went at walkies, and that was good, and the weather was nice, and right now it's just dark. It's not raining, so yesterday, oh boy, I mean, it was windy and rainy in the morning. Woof. So thumbs up for that. For the spider report, there are some gangly leg spiders here and there. I found some other ones like yesterday, and I was like, oh, you're really taking over. So that's life. There's a gangly leg spider down there, so it's okay. There are spiders everywhere. There's always spiders everywhere. I mean, they're everywhere. Thumbs up for that. Over there, I mean, that window spider is gone for good. But the one in the corner, the garden spider in the corner, is still there. So, yay, I'm very glad, actually. I've come to have a pet owner relationship feeling toward that spider. I mean, it's not a pet. I don't have it in a cage. It's not my responsibility to feed it. But it's over in the corner, and it's the same spider, and I parasocial relationship. I really like the spider, even though I don't do anything to it. It ignores me, because I move all around the room now, and it's gotten to the point where I can get close, and it just knows that I move around. I'm not a threat, and so it just ignores me, and I'm just glad it's over there in the corner. So thumbs up on that. Weather, spider, plague rat report. Yes, I did go out walkies, and it was kind of busy-ish. Mostly it was okay. People were wearing masks. The only time someone wasn't wearing a mask, they were vile on purpose. They were walking toward me on a path. I was walking the other direction, away from them. It was on the train tracks. So they were on the path. I moved train tracks over so that I wouldn't walk next to them. As soon as they got within 10 feet of me, they turned their head over onto the side of the path where I was walking, and no hands, broad mouth, just started hacking loudly right where I would have to walk through to blast particles over. Thanks. So they didn't make any coughing sounds before that, didn't make any coughing sounds after. Sure, could have been just coincidence, but from the whole thing of especially turning the head, open mouth, hacking, come on, this was a person who had something going on up here that was just trying to be not very good. But other than that, it was a good thing, and people were using their masks, and thumbs up for that. Just hopefully, having been outside, I didn't get blasted with too many particles, and hopefully none of them were of the wrong type. You never can tell what's going to happen. But past that, yesterday was a day. I mean, I'm still having, because of the tail ends of the cold, I was still having staying awake issues and all that during part of the day yesterday. And it's still harder than normal to think of creative stuff, but I tried my best, especially going out walking. I mean, yes, the stuff that I talk about with my fiction and my cosmic horror stuff and all this, yes, anybody else who didn't have ADHD could have taken the past year and a half that I've been working on this stuff, compressed it into a month and done something really good with it. But me, I'm a year and some later, and still just slowly chugging through it when I can because of my ADHD. But last night I was thinking of characters and such, because I talked about the one character yesterday, Tammy Bayman, and her life and such. And the character Tammy Bayman, because of the multiverse, that's just one of the Tammys that I write about, that particular version. When I write about her in that particular universe. Because even though it's a universe that wouldn't exist without the insinuation of these otherworldly energies, because of that, I mean, everything still spawns and calves, and there is still just every moment an infinite number of universes spawn out of everything we do. And that's what happens. So there's an infinite number of Tammy Baymans. I'm just writing about a particular subset of Tammy Baymans in this particular subset of worlds. So saying, there is another character that about a year ago maybe I wanted to write about, and I started off making him a bad person, but for some reason I really liked him and scrapped that entirely. I read just something and went, no, this isn't good. I don't like this. I like the character too much to make them a bad person. So, using still, this person, Big Danny, still lives on Tammy's world, but, this particular subset of universes where Tammy Bayman exists, only it's a different subset of universes, because after all, each individual is just variant X of a person performing variant Y of an action in variant Z of a universe. So in variant Z of these universes, Danny, his world, Big Danny, is not falling apart in quite the same way that Tammy in her subset is. So there's a Tammy Bayman in his universe, and she has a much better life, as does everybody, because it's not falling apart in such the same way. Things are still happening in this particular subset. Their universe wandered into the zone of influence, and you can't help it. But for there, it's not falling apart underneath the what everybody thinks of as this death cult that seems to have as its main goal the end of human civilization. In Big Danny's world, everything is still crazy, but there's no real big one impetus push behind it. So where Big Danny lives, there is a group of bad people. And they have noticed that you can get hooks in you. And when you've got a hook in you from the attentions of the bad god, because they worship a bad god, it's just a thing. The actual god itself isn't important. But, I'll go into that if I ever do the story. But their thoughts on that is, this bad god puts a hook in you. And when you've got the hook in you, depending on the strength of the hook and how strong you are, you will fall moderately soon. Most people, when they get the hook in them, they end up killing and eating someone within the first couple days. The leader in the area where Big Danny lives, he was the strongest-willed person he knows. And it was a month before he killed and ate his first victim. Big Danny's got a hook on him. Biggest hook they've ever seen, and he's been 5 years now. Now, Big Danny, as I say, he's a good guy. He's a nice guy. But because of this, he's got some issues. He limits himself to 600 calories a day. All he drinks is water. He exercises normally with his work, and he does a 9-mile walk, 3 hours every single day. And over the past year, with all that activity, starving himself, and he only gained 5 pounds. So he's torturing himself at 400 pounds to slow his weight gain. And he knows he's got the hook There's something delicious out there that really, really, really wants to be eaten. And it's all around him walking on two legs. But Big Danny, he's got the strongest will of anybody there that they've known. I mean, he's had the hook in him 5 years, biggest hook that this leader's ever seen. And Big Danny just ain't letting go. And they want Big Danny. So, working on that. Thumbs up. Past that though, just surviving, been playing games, trying to play games, been doing various things, but just surviving, just living, trying to think, as stated, telling story ideas, coming up with story ideas, trying to work out further details on various things with the cosmic horror pantheon. One of the things that I do kind of like about the Lovecraftian stuff is there's the people that have all the ancient symbols. So I've started to come up with some symbols / sigils / glyphs for the various cosmic horrors. Like Kadiron is the influence of Kadiron on Tammy and Big Danny's world. So everybody who's been dreaming also has images of two types of glyphs. One of them for Kadiron is just a drawing of like a large mouth with just teeth. And that's Kadiron's glyph. And then the other thing that everybody keeps dreaming of is a circle with 12 other circles in it. Thing about that is that could be representing two things. Of course, on the large scale, the larger circle, Amaterasu, and her 12 children, the other 12 cosmic horrors. But because they're busy, when they want to do things in lower universes, they send an Ung, which is a lower creature, and it births 12 children of its own inside of an individual universe. The Ung with its 12 children, same symbol. So, thumbs up on that. I just need to come up with symbols, sigils, and glyphs for the others, because when people dream of them, they also tend to come up with the same glyphs for the characters and the situations. When you dream of Kadiron, it's always going to be that mouth with teeth that you draw afterward. So, thumbs up on that. I just think it's kind of a cool idea. I mean, what can I say? One day, hopefully I'm going to get me some medicine before I die, and then I'll be able to write all this stuff out and go for it from there. Definitely a thumbs up. Past that is stated, just surviving. I'm going to be sad when things fall apart and stop working, but that will hopefully be a long time. My PlayStation 4, there are a lot of people that when they turn theirs on, they just, sound horrible and loud the entire time through. I have no idea why mine is so quiet, because I have to blow the dust out of my computer so often. The only time I can hear my PlayStation 4 is generally when I first turn it on. Like for the first minute, I hear the fan. And then after that minute, it just goes, "Pew!" And then the fan spins down, and then I don't hear it anymore. It's just silent over there. So I'm pretty lucky, I think, that way. And as a quick aside, one of the things I think is pretty neat is there is like a $20 thing that you can buy for the Xbox One and all that, all the way up to the Series S. Well, the latest, the Xbox Series whatever, the latest generation, and the Xbox One and all that. You can pay a one-time $20 fee to open up dev mode on your machine. Once you've opened up dev mode, you can't run retail products, but you can run other products, because that allows you to develop for the machine. But that allows you to run things that aren't original products, like emulation. And apparently the Xbox One series and the latest one, excellent emulation machine. So they've got an emulation series called RetroArch with a whole bunch of mini packages to work that it's an awesome emulation machine. The only thing that's an issue is the PlayStation 2 emulator is not that good right now. The GameCube emulator apparently works pretty good, and I gotta admit, the GameCube emulator sounds good. I mean, I've got a GameCube and a couple games for it, but the one game that I really want for the GameCube, well, a couple years back, was like $200. So I doubt I'm ever going to be buying that. Life is life. And I've opened up 24 hours worth of comments in my community tab. I'm going to go through and thank 20 to 25 people for having left me a comment. It is arranged because even though I count American Sign Language on the fingers of this hand, that was so sloppy, American Sign Language on the fingers of this hand, with my depression, fibro, and more, I forget so much. I'm only reading the comments right now and thanking you for having left... I'm not only reading. I'm not reading. I'm only thanking you for having left a comment. And if I mispronounce the username, I said it all out of order, so I'm forgetting things. I'm just an American English speaker. I forget stuff all the time. So let me call up my thing. I don't know how to pronounce things. I forget things all the time because of my fibro and stuff. Holy smokes. We have Bruce Wayne is hot. Thumbs up and thank you. We have Yokai. Greatly appreciated. Sad Vampire with 4s instead of A's. Greatly appreciated. Xristoforos thumbs up, greatly appreciated, and I wish I knew the answers to your questions. I'm very sorry. Momoko B, good to see you in the comments. And we have Tiana Ritchie, thumbs up and thank you. Melissa Ramirez, greatly appreciated. Kevin Dobson, thumbs up and thank you. Jake Griffin, appreciated. We have Drake Bell, thumbs up. Monkey Bobo, thumbs up, sort of. Don't eat the fish, me, greatly appreciated. Aconite, thumbs up. We have HIYME Core, thumbs up and thank you for the advice. Carola Cortez, thumbs up and thank you. Seamus Williams, thumbs up, or Samus, I don't know. Dom Joseph, thumbs up. We have Silent Anbu Assassin, greatly appreciated, and I don't know. SHVBTX, greatly appreciated. Kiiroi, Kodomo, thumbs up and thank you. Conspo Lopez, greatly appreciated. Daniel Marin, thumbs up and thank you. We have Owen Lenoir, Lenoir. There is Kapaki, greatly appreciated. And OONAGH Cassidy. Unag? I'm not sure, but thank you all so very much. You get me out of my head, into the world, dealing with real people, if only in text, and it is appreciated to no end. Thank you so very, very much. If you could check out my various links down below, I have Twitter, Facebook, Patreon.com. If you could become a Patreon.com patron, like one of these beautiful and awesome people, that would be beautiful and awesome. And if you'd like to help me out without sending money through the patronage, I have a PayPal link down below. And if you'd like to help me out without sending money, I have an Amazon wish list link as well, with things like cat food, hamster bedding, what else is there? Silly things, not silly things. If you could check it out, that would be very awesome. Now, do not feel obligated. I do not feel entitled. And if you cannot donate, or you simply do not donate, I take all good wishes and I deposit them on the bank of my heart, where I draw interest. So thank you very much. If you could toss me a like, I appreciate all the positive validation I get from my existence. A definite thumbs up. And of course, if you could hit the notification bell on the subscription button, that would be very, very cool. Definitely a thumbs up. Well, holy smokes, I've got this video here, I've got something I need to record and then edit and render for the afternoon, so I'm going to be busy, of course, as always, definitely a good thing. The busier I stay, the less time and space there is for the darkness to creep in through the cracks. Definitely a thumbs up. The lobster hat wearing duck head of judgment suffers from a surplus of scorn. Do not disappoint the lobster hat wearing duck head of judgment. It is ready, not eager, but ready to cast that scorn upon all who disappoint it, and its mockery is severe. Do not disappoint the lobster hat wearing duck head of judgment. It suffers from a surplus of scorn. Black Lives Matter, damn it. And justice for everybody. The jackbooted, brown-shirted fascist thugs in police uniforms keep brutalizing and murdering in their homes and on American streets. Ugh. Please wear a mask, wash your hands, try not to touch your face, practice your social distancing, stay home unless you have to. Oh my God, please do not act like one of the lunatics out there in the world that are anti-mask lunatics. Don't be a lunatic. So, practice your self-care, stay in survival mode, and I will see you on the flip side, my friend.